Oh, hi, first grade. I was just contemplating this text that we were reading yesterday because I noticed this is a incredible piece. There are so many aspects of it that we could take apart, and today we're going to give it a go to do just that. So I hope you enjoyed reading Just a Box. It's a fantastic story. What we're going to start out with today is we're going to do a little bit of retell. Now, you hopefully remember the story that you read yesterday. If not, oh gosh. What I've got here for you is a sequence of 4 pictures. And in each one, what you want to do is you want to be able to retell the whole story using the words first, next, then, finally. Now, this kind of story is the kind of story that you can retell. If you had a fact book, which was all about dogs, for instance, you wouldn't be able to retell that story as easily as you would this, because it wouldn't be a first, next, then kind of story. It would be more like first fact, second fact, third fact. Did you know? So I want you to give it a go, thinking about what it is that happened first, next, then, finally, and what are the most important details. Perhaps you came up with something like this. First, they found a box at the dump. Next, they pretended it was a bus. Then, they pretended it was a rocket and a tent. Finally, it rained and the box melted. Now, this doesn't tell us the whole meaning of the story, but it does tell us what happened first, next, then, finally, so we can sequence it. Now, you heard the word melted, which is a great word, by the way. And I noticed that these 3 words, flip, ask, and melt, are all action words. What is an action word? Well, let me tell you.
A verb is an action, ha-ya. A verb is an action, ha-ya. Like running, or skipping, or fishing, too. A verb is an action, ha-ya. I run, I skip, I fish.
Okay, not sure what just happened there, but anyway, flip, flip, flip. Action words are called verbs. Ask, ask, ask. Ask is a verb because you do it. Melt, 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 melt. Melt is a verb because you do it. Why, you may be asking, has Mr. Crow written this 3 times? And where, you may be asking, did he put his marker? I found it. So, we call flip, ask, and melt the root words. But you may have noticed that when they used them today, they added a P-E-D onto the end of flipped to make this new word. What do you notice it has in it? Yeah, an extra P. That's how you have to spell it when you turned it into flipped. But you don't do that when you turned it into asked. Over here for melted, you also don't put 2 T's, but melted gets an ED at the end of it when you say the word melted. So these are the ED words, these are the root words, and then over here, you do the same thing when you're writing the word flipping. You do the same thing you did for asked when you write the word asking, and you do the same thing for melting when you write the word melting. Take a look at that closely, especially the middle column. This shows us we can change the words flip, ask, melt into flipped, asked, and melted. And also flipping, asking, and melting. Depending on whether you're using it to say, I am going to flip the box, or melt the box. Or if you're saying, I already flipped the box, or the box already melted. I'm melting! Exactly. I need this over here. So, let's take a look at some vocab words in the story that are really important. Let's sound them out because they're all decodable words. Here we go. St, r, ap, strap, flap, flap. Try this one by yourself. Did you do it? Prop, melt. Okay, so these vocab words are really important to look at as you're going through the story, and they're really important to look at with the words that are around them. So I'm going to find the first one first. So it says here, Papa strapped the box into his truck. What do you infer the word strapped could mean in the story when we use it in that sentence? Papa strapped the box into his truck. Well, we've already sounded out the word, so now we can look at the picture and confirm that what he's doing is strapping. He's doing an action. We already know that because all of these words are action. All these words are action words. No, they're not. This is an action word. Ignore the things that I just said. And when he straps it, you can see that he's pulling on this strap here. It means he's tightening it onto the box. The next word is the word flap. Let me find the word flap. When we read the word, we need to make sure we read it with the sentence. The kids lifted the flap. Okay, so before I said it was a verb, it's not a verb. It's a noun. The kids lifted the flap. They lifted the thing which was the flap. I can infer that they've lifted and opened it up like a door, so this must be the flap. And the nice thing is you can check with an adult to make sure you're right. The next word, prop, is here with an P-E-D at the end of it. So, they propped up the flaps. What do you infer propped up could mean? When you prop something up, what do you do to it? Well, you may have already guessed that it's an action. Propping something up is an action. And when you prop something up, it's like you take this water bottle here. You see it? And you lean it against it like that. Can you see it? And then it sort of stays up like that. Props up. Or your parents might be like, hey, let's all take a family photo together. Let's prop it up against that block of wood over there because we don't have an extra person to take the photo for us. Oh no, what are we going to do? We'll just prop it up. No problem. We got this. We totally got this. The final word is the word melt. Maybe one of my favorite words in the entire dictionary is the word melt. Just love the word melt. Don't know why. The reason I love the word melt is because I'm stalling for time until I find the word. Melt. Once again, let's read it with the sentence so it makes the most amount of sense. The next day, the box had melted. Well, here we're going to have to really rely on the picture. Now that we've sounded out the word, decoded it, we're allowed to go and look at the picture and work out what melted could mean using the words and the context in the picture. So I can see that we know it's rained from the page before, and now I can see that the box is a big clump of junk. So I'm guessing that melted probably means like when it clumps together and gets destroyed by something. When something gets heated up in a microwave, or heated up with anything, it can also melt too. So you can use melt in different ways. Okay. It is time for you to go and read Just a Box by yourself and enjoy the story. I hope you notice all those different things that we've talked about and use them to help yourself become a better reader, because there are lots of aspects to reading, not just saying the words. Happy reading!